Let's discuss the latest from the former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul. The macro guru foresees the potential Bitcoin bubble cycle, predicting a Bitcoin price target of up to $500,000 per coin. So let's break this one down, family, and pump the likes to help pump the stream. Greatly appreciate it. So Raoul recently updated his outlook on the current crypto market cycle. Prior to founding macroeconomic and investment strategy research service Global Macro Investor in 2005, Powell co-managed GLG Global Macro Fund in London for global asset management firm GLG Partners, which is now called Man GLG. Before that, Raoul worked at Goldman Sachs alongside, I guess, Gary Gensler and the rest of them, right? Co-managing the European hedge fund sales business in equities and equity derivatives. Currently, he is the CEO of the finance and business video channel Real Vision, which he co-founded in 2014. And in a recent interview with the one and only Pompliano, the founder of Pomp Investments, Paul discussed the potential path that Bitcoin price can take, including a scenario reminiscent of the 2011-2013 bubble cycle. So let's discuss it. Here are the highlights from the conversation with Pomp. Here are the three potential scenarios. Powell outlines three possible outcomes for the current crypto market cycle. Here's the first one, a normal cycle, which he gives a 60% probability. Raoul believes there is a 60% chance of a relatively standard market cycle, which he could see Bitcoin reaching around $150,000. So this again is his most likely scenario, which he gave 60% probability. So my question for y'all in the chat, do you believe we're likely and probable, it's probable that we hit 150,000 for the cycle peak? Let me know. Now, number two, front-loaded cycle, he gives a 20% probability. He says there is a 20% chance. And according to Raoul, that the cycle could be front-loaded potentially due to the impact of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. This scenario might lead to a quicker rise to 150,000 per coin, followed by a decline, which can then see unexpected for many investors. So let me know if you feel this can potentially happen. Now, number three, the most bullish scenario is the bubble cycle. He also gives a 20% probability. Raoul considers a 20% likelihood of a bubble cycle, similar to the one seen in 2011 and 2013. This scenario would involve an interim top, a correction, and then a massive surge in the price action. So here's his bubble cycle price target. In the bubble cycle scenario, he suggests that Bitcoin can soar as high as $500,000 per coin, which is $500,000 per BTC. Now, if you'd love to see a $500,000 Bitcoin, let me know, fam. However, he humorously notes that even if his prediction is overly optimistic by 50%, the price will still reach $250,000. That's a fact. So even with the bullish scenario of $500,000, if we fall short 50%, we're still optimistic because we got a $250,000 Bitcoin, family, still at $250,000. So it's kind of like, reminds me of the saying, aim for the stars, and if you land on the moon, big whoop, right? Now, factors influencing the cycle. Raoul emphasizes the importance of various factors in determining which scenario likely plays out, including ETF flows, monetary policy, economic conditions, and the impact of the upcoming U.S. presidential election. So there you have it, family. What are your thoughts? Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to take us for this cycle peak? Do you think 150,000 conservative prediction, which he gives a 60% probability? Do you think we can potentially see 500,000 for the cycle, potentially see a double cycle top? Let me know your honest thoughts. Also remind you that the stock to flow is predicting anywhere between 100,000 and $1 million per coin, averaged between 2024 and 2028. Now, if history is to rhyme, then we're likely to hit that cycle peak in 2025. My scenario, I think that can potentially play out. We could hit $100,000 this year in 2024, have a significant correction, and then continue with our parabolic surge like history shows us the year preceding the halving, like they're referring to the bubble cycle from 2011 to 2013. In 2011, Bitcoin was probably ranging from a couple of dollars to $10. 2012, we had a halving, and in 2013, it was one of the most parabolic rallies we have witnessed in a halving cycle. So if we have a repeat of that, I mean, who knows? The truth of the reality is Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. Here's what I can guarantee you. You know what I mean? It's a mathematical certainty that the purchasing power in fiat US dollars is guaranteed to decline. And it's also a mathematical certainty where it's guaranteed the purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase your purchasing power. How can I say that so confidently? Because they're going to continue to print dollars. And Bitcoin has the opposite effect of the dollars. Bitcoin has number go up technology. Dollars, they print more. It creates inflation, eventually hyperinflation, which leads to eventually hyper Bitcoinization, where Bitcoin's purchasing power goes through the moon. Like today, with one Bitcoin worth $42,500, you can buy a very nice car. Maybe in 10 years, you'll be able to buy $1 million mansion with that same Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase its purchasing power because the US dollar is mathematically guaranteed to lose its purchasing power. So the smart play, treat Bitcoin as a savings. Instead of saving fiat crap in the bank, which depreciates like a melting ice cube, as Thaler once described it, you could be saving in Bitcoin, increasing your purchasing power. Don't use a bank account as a savings, because it's not. In fact, you're probably going to lose 15 to 20% of purchasing power just due to inflation, hence the melting ice cube theory that Thaler talks about. So the smart play, if you want to be in this for the long haul, is use Bitcoin as a savings. And again, you're going to be blessed over the long haul. And maybe that one Bitcoin can purchase everything you've ever dreamed of in your life if you're willing to hodl and play the long game. Some of you guys are in this for the short haul. Some of you are ishcoining, doing what you're going to do. I don't judge. Respect to all. I hope you guys all win at the end of the day. But it's a mathematical certainty that Bitcoin will go up in purchasing power as the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to lose its purchasing power, and no one can change that. So with that being shared, family, let me know your thoughts, and let's dive into our live Q&A session. Let's go. Yeah, but it's boring. 50 KM, 100 something tokens, excitement. There's no good clothes shops. No one locks their doors here. Where do you live there, Adam? In other words, hodl. I mean, it's really that simple. And the reality is, it's so simple, most people confuse it. They don't have the patience to just sit back and continue to treat Bitcoin as a savings, continue to dollar cost average. You know what I mean? Just like MicroStrategy. They're now billions of dollars in profit. All he did was continue to buy the top. He didn't really care. He's just like, I'm going to dollar cost average. Over the time, it's going to average out. But over the long haul, we're going to win. That's it here. Hashtag winning if you're able to hodl, dollar cost average, and not fall victim to FUD, because that's all they can control at this point. They can control the on-ramps, the off-ramps, and the mainstream FUD. That's all the powers that be can control. They can't control anything more. They can't control how you think. They can't put the fear of God in you. They can try to persuade you, through various different acts, which we can discuss later on the uncensored version of the show. But you already know. It's as simple as that. Treat Bitcoin as a savings account. Every Bitcoin hodler who has hodled for 4 years or longer is in the green, meaning Bitcoin hodlers are all winners 100% of the time. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I think that trajectory is likely to continue, because if you zoom out, Bitcoin has been on a 15-year bull market. 15 years, zoom out, and it will continue, because it is the most perfect form of money to ever exist, is the first form of money in human existence with a finite limited supply. It's incorruptible, it's unconfiscatable, it's borderless, it's immutable. It has all the things that gold wish it had, right? Only it's way superior. Meanwhile, gold has a 14 trillion market cap, and guess what? The apex predator is coming for that market share, and it's only a matter of time before the Bitcoin market cap surpasses that of gold, and Bitcoin will be trading at a minimal of $500,000 per coin. It's a mathematical certainty, family, as that market cap continues to grow. So you tell me, do you think the future generations, like the younger cats out here, do they prefer the physical gold like Peter Schiff, the old man himself, or do they prefer the digital superior version which cannot be confiscated? Let me know, family.